Good morning. It is Friday, September 19th. I'm Whitney Turner. Thanks for joining us for Catch Up Quick, WVLT's daily fastcast, airing 10:30 in the morning, Mondays through Fridays. We want to get it started with a check of your first slow forecast with meteorologist Kyle Granger, enjoying sunny skies for now.
I should be everyone's favorite meteorologist today, especially with the sunshine. Tomorrow, not quite so much, but we'll deal with the sunshine today. Those of you who have plans, maybe you're running around shopping. If you're off, you get to head out and about and check out some of the hiking trails, maybe in Cumberland County or up to Big South Fork. You see here downtown Knoxville, all of us looking the same with those clear skies, maybe just a few passing clouds for the afternoon. 72 Sweetwater, 73 Kingston, 71 Crossville. How about 69 for Knoxville? 66 Gatlinburg, cool start to the day for a morning coffee, and 73 in Morristown. The radar and cloud track shows us the clear skies here, banks of clouds to the west, and that's what will bring us the increased rain chance as we go through Saturday and the increased cloud threat for this evening, overnight into tomorrow morning. So the broader perspective, yes, a nice calm day if you're headed into the Carolinas or down to Atlanta. Your first alert forecast for the next 12 hours shows us getting into the mid to upper 80s by the time all is said and done. Will increase that cloud coverage as well. Going into the evening hours, the stars come out, maybe a little obscured at times for those of you working the late shift as you step out and about for your break. Now, rain chances will increase as we go through Saturday, Sunday, and through next week as well. We'll time that out for you coming up in just a few minutes.
Kyle, thanks so much. We are following a developing story right now. A parent is accused of throwing a chair that hit a teacher. This is Ernice Renee McCallie. She is the mom who Knoxville police say was called to the Central High School office to discuss a fight involving students. An officer was already there for that meeting. KPD says McCallie got angry, threw a chair, and punched a second staff member who was in the room. Central School Resource Officer detained McCallie. She's charged with 2 counts of assault. We're told the victims had minor injuries. Meanwhile, parents in Monroe County are dealing with a bus shortage, not always knowing if or when their children will be picked up for school. This past week, the Monroe County School District's Facebook page showed multiple route cancellations. The district says those issues stemmed from drivers calling out sick. The district's transportation director, Rusty Vineyard, adds that the transportation department as well as the contractors are always accepting applications.
We're working with our transportation director. We're trying our best to find a way to recruit these drivers, get these routes filled. It's taking time. I know there's a lot of parents out there that's really disgruntled because some of them's been without a school bus for 5 years. When we don't have drivers that can fill in or we can't fill in ourselves, that route may get canceled that day. We've had routes canceled as many as 5 days because no one to fill that route.
A bus driver we spoke to said they recently hosted a job fair for bus drivers and have 5 people being trained, but it's not an immediate fix. In the meantime, officials are asking parents to keep being patient as the drivers are doing everything they can for the students. And new details about a case that happened back in June. Eileen Stapler is charged with reckless homicide. Athens authorities say she ran over 57-year-old Philip Oswald. He had just gotten into a crash while on a motorcycle. She then hit and injured Oswald before leaving the scene. Meanwhile, new details about the crash that shut down I-40 West Thursday morning. Crews were called to the fire at the Wayscales in Farragut. When they got there, they found the tractor trailer and another car fully engulfed with flames. They tell us the car had fallen off a truck on the road. Luckily, no one is hurt. Gatlinburg's longtime fire chief is retiring. Chief Charlie Cole has served the city for 38 years. Cole began as a volunteer firefighter and worked his way to the top. He says serving the community he grew up in has been an honor and a blessing. His last day on the job will be January 2nd. And a warning from the Department of Agriculture: spotted lanternflies were found in East Tennessee. This is what they look like. Officials say the invasive insects were found in Knox County. The spotted lanternfly can pose a danger to your plants. They usually lay egg masses on solid objects like cars and firewood. And if you see this insect or its egg mass, take a picture, report it to the state, then make sure you stomp on it. Kill it, both the insect and any eggs. You can also use rubbing alcohol to get rid of them. The Tennessee Valley Authority demolished one of its cooling towers in Hartsville. The 540-foot tower was destroyed by a controlled implosion. The tower has been out of use for quite some time. It's being removed as part of the TVA's effort to get rid of obsolete infrastructure. And it's been nearly a year since Hurricane Helene swept across portions of the TVA service. Days before the rain started falling, TVA was tracking Helene from its River Forecast Center in Knoxville. TVA lowered already low reservoir levels ahead of the storm. And the one-year anniversary of Helene is a time to reflect on the lessons learned.
Probably the most important lesson we learned was the significance of communication. Just being able to communicate and having some redundancy built into our emergency preparedness for being able to communicate with the sites themselves.
TVA says that it saved more than $400 million worth of potential damages in our area.
Your First Alert Forecast with meteorologist Kyle Granger.
10:36 for us now on this Friday morning, out and about early. You see here 70s in Crossville, close to that in Knoxville, Pigeon Forge 73, Morristown. Radar and cloud track is nice, quiet, clear and calm for Knoxville. Nashville, but look at that. That's the rain and storms we're watching inching closer to us for our Saturday. So your First Alert forecast shows us that we are going to be looking at maybe a great day. It's not maybe a great day. It is going to be a great day out at Cades Cove, up into the 80s for the afternoon. Lots of sunshine. 83 in Knoxville, Sevierville, putting the motion forward. You see here a couple of rain and storms for western North Carolina. We're up to 86 in Knoxville, Lenoir City, Loudon, 86 for Spring City. Off to the west, parts of the plateau, 82 Jamestown to 83 Deer Lodge. How about 85 Middlesboro, Barberville at 86, and over into the Smokies, Greenville to Newport 83 to 85, 83 for Townsend. Grilling out this evening. Oh, a nice evening for that. It is warm. You might be a little warm by the grill. Up to 83 is where we are. Sunset at 7:37, and then overnight tonight, waking up to around 63 by the time you join me tomorrow morning on Saturday morning. Passing clouds overnight leads to a couple of showers, unfortunately, by the time we get into game day on Saturday. I think we get kickoff dry. By the halftime, we're staying dry. It's post game and into the fourth quarter. I think we're going to have issues where we need to pay attention to your First Alert weather app. 12:45 kickoff. It's around 2 o'clock that we're going to see those storms developing closer to us. So here for your futurecast on your Saturday, starting clear, starting dry, and then there's that 2 o'clock storm I'm watching, starting to pop up for East Knox County. That's just close enough. If there's a bolt of lightning, we could have some delays in Neyland. Of course, over into the Smoky Mountains as well. More rain and storms develop into the evening hours for those of you traveling home. And then on Sunday, we keep the clouds and a few rain chances here and there, but it's spotty. Most of us stay high and dry. You see here Knoxville with a few rain and storms on your Monday. We're up to 86 where we should be for the middle of summer. Yes, we're warmer than average as we go into fall, but at least we got some rain chances coming back through.
Kyle, thanks so much. Governor Bill Lee and the TVA just made a big announcement in Oak Ridge this morning. They say the next steps in Governor Lee's nuclear energy initiative. He has said for a long time he wants to make Tennessee the hub of nuclear power in the U.S., and they announced that the now decommissioned Bull Run fossil plant would become the home to a new type of technology, first of its kind, fusion energy stellarator. The technology uses magnets to manipulate plasma. Lee said the technology will help open up more energy in the region for people who live here and incoming businesses. Evan Lasik is going to have more information on the announcement for you today. Tennessee's unemployment rate is holding steady. That's according to the Tennessee Department of Labor. The state says 3.6% of Tennesseans were looking for work in August. That's the same as the July rate. They did say Tennessee's unemployment rate is lower than the national average. January and February had the highest unemployment rate this year at 3.7%. The state says Tennessee employers have added more than 34,000 jobs over the past year. And the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is getting higher demand for evidence testing. Now they're looking to expand their testing facilities. A new report found on average it took around 19 weeks for the TBI to test last year. They've hired a total of 40 new forensic scientists to address the needs for testing they've seen. The TBI says population growth and violent crime has led to an increased need for additional forensic testing. As of June, the TBI has more than 7,000 unfulfilled evidence requests.
There's so many people that are going through this, that are suffering in silence. You're not the only one, and there's people out there who want to support you.
The TBI says its sexual assault kit testing has averaged less than 15 weeks. Today, we're learning that 3 people are dead after a small plane from Nashville crashed in North Carolina. Grammy award-winning songwriter Brett James was among those killed. The plane crashed near an elementary school in Franklin, North Carolina Wednesday afternoon. Brett James co-wrote country hits like Carrie Underwood's Jesus Take the Wheel, Kenny Chesney's When the Sun Goes Down. James was 57 years old. WVLT is proud to be your official station of the Vols, and the Vols are back in Neyland tomorrow to take on UAB. Kickoff is set for 12:45. There are some changes to the game day timeline this weekend. We want to let you know. Gates to the stadium will now open 2.5 hours before kickoff, starting around 10:15. The Vol Walk starts at 10:25, and the Pride of the Southland Band's March to the Stadium starts at 11:05. Don't forget, they are taking a different route this weekend. And you want to be sure you join us Saturday for another edition of Volunteer Game Day on the Tennessee Valley Sports Network. You'll see exclusive interviews with defensive tackle Nathan Robinson and defensive back Idris Farouk. Athletic Director Danny White will join the show too, and we're going to hear Heath Schuler's game plan for beating UAB. We also have an incredible story to share about how UAB Hospital played a crucial role in saving the life of Vol baseball commit Grayson Pope. It's all tomorrow at 10:30 on the Tennessee Valley Sports Network. Might still be my VLT in your channel guide. You'll also find it streaming here in the WVLT News App, or if you're going to the game, just join us in person. An encore presentation is airing at 11:30 on WVLT. And a big donation from Vol legend Grant Williams. UT announced the basketball standout donated $1.5 million to the UT Foundation. Most of that money will go toward the basketball and softball programs. Some of it will be used to create the Grant Williams Scholarship in the Haslam College of Business.
We the People, celebrating 250 years of America. Sponsored by Garza Law Firm.
Today, a historic announcement from a founding father. On this date in 1796, President George Washington's farewell address was published in a newspaper. It was a letter to the American people, not a speech. Our nation's first president notified people he would not be running for a third term. He called for national unity and warned against the rise of political factions. He also encouraged temporary alliances in emergencies rather than permanent alliances with foreign nations. Washington's farewell address is still recited once a year in the United States Senate, a tradition dating back to the Civil War. Thanks so much for joining us. WVLT News App and on WVLT social media pages. We're right back here at noon.